welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. 1 John 5:4 reads, "For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith." There's no doubt where John learned that phrase. He had heard it at a time and place calculated to stamp it on his mind forever. "Be of good cheer, I have overcome the world," said Christ just hours before Gethsemane. There stood the one whom his followers has taken for the Messiah, apparently with his life's ministry crushed into pebbles, and his enemies ready to complete their dominance over him with his murder. Yet he strangely sounds this clarion declaration of victory, "I have overcome the world." The long unfolding years had taught the apostle something of its meaning. Now the Master's victory could be ours as well. And so his great revelation letter is filled with a shout of triumph, down to the last promise of all, "He that overcometh shall inherit all things." How could this Christ's life possibly be considered victorious? He had lived and was about to die a poor man. He held no high government office. He wrote no books. He commanded no armies, was not an idolized singer or lauded athlete, and in an obscure corner of the world was giving up a life less than half over. The only possible answer is that the Son of God gauged human success by a different yardstick than the usual one, which understanding shone a great light into John's heart that dominated his viewpoints forever. His books are filled with references to the Christian life as one of conquering in battle. The great mystery of this sublime verse is that by following in the footsteps of Jesus Christ, the poor man, the beaten man, the unsuccessful man may yet say, "I have overcome the world." The natural question is, how can that be? Well, the world, by which we mean the sum of all outward things taken as apart from God, are in reality antagonistic to one another. The world clamors or seduces us for us to love it, to trust it, to allow it with its charms and demands, to crowd out the greater things beyond. The day-to-day hustle and bustle of the world is calculated to so absorb our attention that there is no time to examine or pursue the deeper matters of spiritual life. The world conquers us, no matter what successes and attainments it may seem to shower on us, when it can hinder us from seeing, loving, and holding communion with our Father God. No matter what magnificent robes it seeks to put on us, the world is not our friend. Its grand design is to rob us of our souls. We overcome the world when we use the force of our will to use the things it presents to us to help us get nearer to God, to become more like Him, to think more often in Him, to do His will more gladly and more continuously. It is victory over the world to use its greatest forces to serve us in the highest things, the attainment of a clearer vision of the divine nature, of deeper love for God, of greater consecration and more determined and joyous service to Him. Victory over the world is to make it into a ladder whereby we climb the lofty heights of Mount Zion and enter into the deepest secrets of spiritual life. If the world comes between any of us and our God, it is an impenetrable fog. It has conquered us. When it comes between us and our God as nothing more than a transparent mirage, we've conquered it. To win the victory is to get the world with its material things, its frightening or flattering passions, under our feet and stand on it, and from there to reach up to God. Friends, let us never be fooled by the false appraisals of success from a people around us. Always and forever, the one great purpose of our lives is to know God, to love and please Him. Any life which does not meet that purpose, no matter what else it does or doesn't do, well, it's a disaster. The Christ who lives in His people controls winds and lightning and flames. We're to lay hold of that same conquering power to make us every one wiser, gentler, nobler, more gracious, more godly. Have you talked to Him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.